McAlister. I left the corporate world after working for 5 Fortune 500 companies running talent acquisition, talent enablement, culture and values, and transformation to start my own company and to write a book. So today I'm going to talk to you about 4 trends I'm seeing. I've been to 5 conferences in the last 6 months, I think. So I'm just going to be the zeitgeist of what people are saying is on top of their mind. And I'm sure we're going to hit these deeper as other speakers come up today. So here's the 4 global trends I'm hearing. So one, this is not one of the 4, I believe we're living in the golden age of HR technology. Everywhere I go, we were at HR Tech, there are so many companies bootstrapping their way up. And the hardest thing to do is to figure out what exactly are they doing? What really is their point of view? And that's why Fuel 50 is such a clear-cut winner in so many cases, because it's very clear what they do and the benefits of your organization. But I just want you to feel you are a technologist. You can't wait for IT to come to you. You can't wait for HR ops to come to you. You have to have a view of what's going on in the world, because we are not going to get as fast to the human interaction with more data without technology. Okay, trend number 1, mental fitness. You know, we're living in a pandemic-affected workforce, and it's getting harder and harder for people to draw lines between their work and their life. We used to think the cell phone broke that. The pandemic did. So people, the lowest scores on so many surveys is boundaries. So I think a huge differentiation when you're recruiting is, are you serving your communities and are you serving the mental fitness of your employees? What investment are you putting in to say, we care about your mental fitness? So I think this one is going to be a big trend moving into the future. And no one has it exactly figured out yet. So I'm glad that we're talking about this today. Second, you have an HR tech stack probably, and they're generating more and more and more data than ever before. The difficult part is, how do you integrate that data and tell a story? A specific 1 or 2 point story that informs your talent strategy, that informs your CEO staff, and informs your employees. What are we doing with all of this data to have more influential? I'm sure you guys saw during the pandemic, surveys we were getting back from our coaching, from our Fuel 50 data, from our Pulse survey, integrated, completely sped us up to make decisions about how we're going to go into hybrid work or not. So integrating your data across your stack and telling a cohesive 1 or 2 point story should be on your mind all the time. Number 3, breaking down silos. Employees are starving for meaningful, accountable interaction and connection. We did 2, my last company, we did 2 events, a director immersion and a manager immersion. And the number 1 thing that they loved about it is they got to talk to each other, and we gave them opportunity to talk to each other after. So finding ways to have interconnection all the time, meaningful, accountable, is a secret sauce, I think, moving forward. That's why coaching, gigs, having career conversations about where do you want to go, talking to peers, peer coaching. These are things that are tantamount to having people stay engaged and feel that you care about them. And lastly, skills and mobility are becoming the new career plan. People are getting much, much smarter of saying, the more I learn, the more skills I have, that's a personal investment that I can take with me anywhere, within the company, outside of the company. So people are hungry for skills and feel it's a personal investment if you give them those opportunities. So, oh, I thought I fixed that typo. Build an AI-enabled, forward-looking skills architecture. So on the left is some of the things we did when we implemented Fuel 50 at my last company. We had an entire career week where Ann came to talk, Josh Burson came to talk, we had external and internal speakers, the CEO, CHRO, and we told the entire company, we care about your career here. We care about building you here. And the quote I had was, I want you to do the best work of your career at NetApp from your kitchen table, and Fuel 50 helped us do that. We started doing Dare to Dream, where we brought in external speakers that would come in and talk about problems they had in their career and how they overcame it. We had Thrive Thursdays, where we talked about how managers and employees can get better at talking about growth. And we had the fastest, at the time, we had the fastest adoption rate of Fuel 50 because it was part of a larger talent strategy. And it changed the way that people said, wow, you really care about us. You really care about us growing here. So those are the 4 big skills or the big trends that I'm seeing. And if if we wanted a deep dive, we could start connecting the 4. They play with each other. Right? I want to be connected. I want to be healthy. I want to grow myself here, and tell me what the data is saying about our company. So you can tie those 2 together. Okay, now self-plug. So on November 15th, my book, The Power to Transform, is just a field guide to how we did it over the past 5 years. So this isn't a book that it talks about 5 big companies and how they did it. This is like step-by-step ecosystem of how you can drive transformation. So if you buy the book on the pre-sale, the ebook on November 15th for $1, you'll be able to get it when it's released in January. And there's some bonus material on the website of me talking just like this. So hopefully that entices you.